What if we shouldn't just be looking for aliens in the sky, but also in our oceans? Today's video is all about alien discoveries, from secret bases to otherworldly technology. If you have a feeling that we're not alone in the universe, you'll definitely want to stick around. So grab a snack and maybe a telescope and let's get into it. Dyson Spheres. Imagine you're an alien and your civilization has grown so advanced that Earth's energy sources wouldn't even power your coffee machine. What do? Build a Dyson Sphere, of course. A massive structure that captures nearly all the energy from your home star. It's a sci-fi dream proposed by physicist Freeman Dyson in 1960. And get this, astronomers might have just found real candidates for these megastructures after searching millions of stars. To give you a better idea of what a Dyson Sphere is, think of it like solar panels on steroids. It's an enormous shell, or swarm of satellites, circling a star, absorbing its energy. Picture Earth's solar panels, but scaled up so much they could wrap around the sun. If aliens are out there building Dyson Spheres, we might spot them by detecting weird heat signals, infrared radiation, from their stars. That's because all that energy gathering would give off a lot of heat, and I mean a lot. Now let's get back to the discovery. Two teams of astronomers, one in Sweden and another in Italy, decided to go Dyson Sphere hunting. They combed through data on 5 million stars, up to 6,500 light-years away. And guess what? They found 60 stars behaving very suspiciously, giving off way more infrared heat than expected. Most of these stars are older and range from small red dwarfs to sun-like stars and even larger ones. But interestingly, none of the usual natural explanations seem to account for the strange data scientists collected. Could this mysterious infrared glow be the handiwork of alien engineering? Well, nobody can say for sure, but scientists aren't ruling out the possibility. Matthias Suazo and his team at Uppsala University identified 7 of these mysterious stars, all of which are red dwarfs and relatively close to Earth, about 900 light-years away. These stars are up to 60 times brighter in infrared light than they should be. Could they be Dyson swarms, a collection of giant satellites soaking up stellar energy? Gabriella Contado's team in Italy found 53 more oddballs among larger stars. These candidates, up to 6,500 light-years away, also show infrared excess. Most of these stars are older, which makes it unlikely that they're surrounded by natural planet-forming debris disks. Why? Because those usually disappear as stars age. They could, however, be surrounded by Dyson Spheres. But don't pop the alien champagne just yet. Scientists have ideas for what else could cause this. Maybe these stars are in front of distant galaxies, and we're misinterpreting the data. Or maybe there's a completely unknown natural process causing all this heat. When it comes to science, it's always good to keep your options open. If Dyson Spheres exist, why is it so hard to confirm where they might be? Well, the biggest problem is that astronomers need more data. These findings are based on cosmic surveys that weren't designed to find alien megastructures. To really figure out what's happening, they need to point telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope at these stars. Only then can they rule out, or confirm, some of the more out-there theories. Whether it's aliens or a mind-blowing new natural phenomenon, the implications are huge. If it's aliens, we're not just talking about little green men. We're talking about civilizations advanced enough to harness entire stars. If it's a natural phenomenon, it's something scientists have never seen before, which is just as exciting. What are your thoughts on Dyson Spheres? Are they real? Are they not real? Let me know in the comments. Extraterrestrial souvenir. If you saw a UFO crash to Earth, would you try and get a piece of the rubble for yourself? Well, that's exactly what Jose Padilla did after witnessing a flying saucer crash in the New Mexico desert when he was just 9 years old. He kept a piece of the alien craft as a souvenir, and guess what? Scientists can't rule out the possibility that it could have extraterrestrial origins. So what really happened that day? Back in 1945, at the famous Trinity nuclear test site. Yes, the same place where the world's first atomic bomb was tested. Young Padilla and his friend were playing on his father's ranch when they heard a loud crash. At first they thought it was another bomb test, but as smoke rose from the ground, they realized that it was something far stranger. When they crept closer, they found a wrecked avocado-shaped aircraft. And then it got even weirder. According to Padilla, 3 aliens emerged from the craft, moving in a way he described as sashaying and running in circles. They seemed disoriented, and Padilla believed they needed help. Before the boys could investigate further, the military showed up and quickly closed off the area, warning everyone, including 2 very curious kids, to stay away. But did Padilla listen? Of course not. Over the next 10 days, as the military cleaned up the crash site, Padilla and his friends snuck around, watching the operation from a ridge. When the soldiers took a break, the boys seized their chance. They crept into the alien craft and snagged a little dial from the wall, which Padilla kept hidden in his garage for decades. Fast forward to 2015, when Padilla finally had the mysterious object tested by a lab in Ohio. What were the results? The artifact was made of aluminium mixed with silicon and copper, materials commonly found in engine parts. While the lab concluded the metals had a terrestrial origin, they didn't entirely rule out an extraterrestrial source either. As Padilla himself put it, no one knows what it is. So did a UFO really crash in New Mexico, or is this just an elaborate childhood tale? Kids have large imaginations, but could Padilla have really made this story up? It's possible, but then again, what do you think? Amarumaru portal. Did people in the ancient past use portals that transported them to distant worlds? Listen to this and let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the Peruvian Andes, near the shimmering waters of Lake Titicaca, is what's known as the Amarumaru portal, also known as the Gate of the Gods. This enormous rectangular doorway carved into a rocky cliff face is one of the most puzzling archaeological wonders in the world. Why was it built? Who built it? And is it really a portal to another dimension, possibly one occupied by the gods of old? The portal itself is carved from pink-hued rock, which seems out of place in the area. Measuring over 33 feet tall, it looks like a doorway straight out of a sci-fi movie. The structure is decorated with carvings of serpents and lizards, symbols that often pop up in ancient cultures. These symbols are often linked to myths of transformation and otherworldly power. But here's what doesn't quite make sense. The doorway appears sealed. So if it really is a door, where does it lead? And how do you open it? No one's figured that out yet. Legends swirl around the Amarumaru portal like mist in the mountains. The most famous tale comes from Incan mythology. The story claims that the portal was a ceremonial site where shamans and priests could connect with the gods, or maybe even travel between worlds. One legend says an Incan priest fled Spanish invaders, carrying a golden disc called the Key of the Gods of the Seven Rays. When he reached the portal, he inserted the disc into a slot, and like magic, the gateway opened, allowing him to vanish into another realm. But unfortunately, no one's found the disc or been able to confirm the story. Even modern explorers and scientists can't agree on what this structure really is. Some argue it's just an elaborate carving by ancient civilizations like the Tiwanaku or the Incas, perhaps for ceremonial purposes. But others, including physicist Nassim Haramein, suggest it might be part of a global network of ancient portals created by advanced technologies to manipulate space and time. Think ancient teleporters or wormholes. Visitors to Amarumaru often report feeling strange sensations, like dizziness, an intense pull toward the portal, or even sudden temperature drops. One tourist in 2016 claimed they couldn't stand up straight near the site, while others swear they've seen lights, colors, or even humanoid but not human figures. Local shamans also have tales to tell describing interdimensional journeys and encounters with mysterious entities. Are they exaggerating, or is something genuinely unexplainable going on? Science steps in with a few possible explanations. Geologists note that the area is rich in magnetic anomalies which could mess with compasses, electronics, and even human perceptions. Lake Titicaca itself has unusually high electromagnetic activity, which some researchers link to the portal's mysterious nature. But does that explain the legends of glowing lights and interdimensional travel? Not exactly. Whether it was made by ancient humans, nature, or something else entirely, the mystery of Amarumaru has kept scientists busy for years. Could it be a forgotten piece of Incan history, a spiritual gateway, or even proof of extraterrestrial contact? The truth is, no one knows for sure, and maybe that's what makes it so magical. And now for a quick break. But first I wanted to give a shout out and big thank you to Calm Crystal and Jason Crawford for supporting this channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this. The Falklands Impact Crater. 66 million years ago, dinosaurs looked up into the sky and saw the most beautiful sight. They must have been mesmerized as a shooting star lit up their world. They likely watched as it got closer and closer. If only they knew that shooting star would wipe out 80% of life on Earth, including most of the dinosaurs. This 6-mile-wide asteroid eventually slammed into what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, causing a catastrophic extinction event. This asteroid left behind the Chicxulub crater, a 124-mile-wide scar hidden beneath layers of sediment. The impact led to a global dust cloud, blocking out sunlight and killing off nearly all life on the planet. But Chicxulub wasn't Earth's only extinction event. In fact, it wasn't even the largest. That honor goes to the Great Dying, a mysterious event 250 million years ago that wiped out 96% of life. Could another massive impact be to blame? A recent discovery hints that it might be. It all began in 1991, shortly after scientists confirmed Chicxulub's role in the dinosaur extinction. Geologist Michael Rampino was intrigued by gravity anomalies like the one at Chicxulub, so he started searching for similar signs of a massive crater. He stumbled upon a curious circular feature near the Falkland Islands, about 155 miles wide. Rampino published his findings but lacked enough evidence to convince anyone to investigate further, and as a result, the potential crater faded into obscurity for decades. But recently, Maximiliano Rocca, a systems analyst by day and crater hunter by night, has reopened the case. Rocca spent his free time analyzing gravity maps and other scientific data, and in 2002 he rediscovered Rampino's forgotten abstract and took up the challenge of proving the Falklands crater's existence. Over the years, Rocca gathered magnetic data showing anomalies similar to those at Chicxulub, as well as seismic data revealing a buried structure beneath ocean sediments. Rocca's excitement grew with each discovery. He contacted Rampino and together they submitted their findings for publication. The evidence looked promising. The crater's size, magnetic anomalies, and seismic features all suggested a massive impact. But there's one big catch. They still don't know its age. If it matches the 250 million year old timeline of the Great Dying, this could be one of the most important geological discoveries ever. So why don't they just drill into the crater to confirm it? Well, that's easier said than done. Drilling through ocean sediment to reach the suspected impact site would cost a fortune. For now, all scientists can hope for is that their paper attracts enough attention and funding to make it happen. What do you think? Could this be the missing piece to solving the mystery of Earth's greatest extinction? Only time, and perhaps a very expensive drill, will tell. Mummified alien fetus. What if I told you that a tiny mummified figure found in a remote Colombian mountain could be the key to unlocking ancient mysteries or even extraterrestrial life? Prepare to have your minds blown by this shocking discovery. At the heart of this tale is a tiny, dried-up figure with an elongated skull, slanted eyes, and fewer ribs than a typical human. It was found in a place locals call El Cerro de los Enanos, or the Hill of the Dwarves. The mummy's story has people questioning whether it's alien, a member of an ancient race of miniature cave dwellers, or just a human fetus with some type of disorder or mutation. So let's dive into the mystery. The figure came to light when Josep Guijarro, a Spanish journalist turned UFO researcher, received cryptic images on WhatsApp from an anonymous source. Guijarro, who spent years exploring unsolved mysteries, shared the photos with the public, but admitted he lacked concrete proof of the mummy's origins. Could it be an alien, or perhaps a connection to the 2003 discovery of Ata, a similar 6-inch mummy found in Chile? Guijarro couldn't say for sure. He preferred to let the evidence speak for itself. Besides being tiny, what makes this mummy so fascinating? Well, first of all, its skull is oddly shaped. Ever seen the movie Coneheads? It sort of looked like that. The figure also seems to have an umbilical cord, a feature of terrestrial mammals, which complicates the alien theory. Skeptics argue that it's likely a stillborn human fetus with genetic deformities. But believers in the unexplained aren't giving up so easily. They point to local legends about tiny nocturnal beings said to have coexisted with the Aymara people of the Andes over 800 years ago. Could this mummy be a member of that mythical race? If this story feels like déjà vu, it might be because of the infamous Arta. Discovered in Chile, Arta stirred similar debates. Some thought it was proof of extraterrestrials, but others said it was just a tragic human fetus with unique features. Scientists eventually determined that Arta was human, around 15 weeks old at the time of death. They also ruled that Arta had no signs of alien mutations, just the natural effects of drying out in the desert over centuries. To make matters even more confusing, fake alien mummies were recently presented in Mexico. Forensic experts in Peru discovered that these were nothing more than cleverly assembled dolls, made from human and animal bones glued together with modern materials. This was a major letdown for UFO enthusiasts worldwide and for those trying to prove the authenticity of the Colombian mummy. But El Cerro de los Enanos is a mysterious, hard-to-reach place that's steeped in lore about tiny humanoids who may have hidden from the world for centuries. So could the Colombian mummy be one of their remains, or is it simply another case of mistaken identity? Experts lean toward a human explanation, but ancient legends will keep the mystery alive until researchers can solve it once and for all. What are your thoughts on this bizarre mummy? Is it an alien visitor, an ancient dwarf, or just an unlucky fetus? Capitol Hill's UFO hearing. Are you aware that the US government has been discussing UFOs and other classified information lately? Not in secret either. They've been doing so publicly. Why? To finally get some answers that were deemed confidential by the CIA. And you won't believe what was just revealed by Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill recently became the stage for some astonishing revelations about UFOs, or as they're now officially called, unidentified anomalous phenomena. But this isn't just wild conspiracy talk. It all started in 2020 when a seemingly unrelated event, the COVID-19 pandemic, led to a surprising development. Amidst the pandemic chaos, lawmakers demanded that the Pentagon investigate over 120 reports of strange flying objects spotted by military pilots. What were they? Advanced tech? Foreign spy drones? Alien ships? The Pentagon's 2021 report didn't have answers, but it did confirm that these weren't your typical planes. The sightings were beyond bizarre. These objects zipped around in ways that seemed to defy physics, looping, hovering, and darting off at impossible speeds. Some even dived into the ocean and shot back out like it was nothing. There were no visible exhaust trails, and their movements would crush any human on board with deadly G-forces. The military ruled out US aircraft, but where did the objects come from? That's still a mystery. But in November 2024, Congress held a hearing dramatically titled Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, Exposing the Truth. And during the hearing, 4 witnesses shared testimony that made jaws drop. Luis Elizondo, a former intelligence official, confidently stated that UAPs are real and hinted at a secret decades-long arms race involving tech not made by any known government. He also accused the US of hiding critical information. Why, you ask? That's the billion-dollar question, and it might involve, as Elizondo put it, misallocated taxpayer dollars. Or in other words, the US government has been using taxpayer funds to pay for this secretive high-tech arms race. Keeping things interesting, retired Admiral Tim Gallaudet recalled a bizarre incident in 2015. He and his crew saw an email with a cockpit video of a UAP. However, the message mysteriously vanished from their inboxes the next day. Was it a glitch? Or did someone not want them to see the video? Gallaudet, like others at the hearing, demanded more transparency from the US government. He also pointed out that these objects often appear near military and nuclear sites. Coincidence? He didn't think so. Then came journalist Michael Schellenberger's testimony, in which he dropped another bombshell. He testified about a secretive government program called Immaculate Constellation. This program reportedly contains hundreds, maybe thousands, of crystal-clear images and videos of UAPs. None of the blurry nonsense we've seen on social media. No, He described these recordings as high resolution. Schellenberger also criticized how the topic is dismissed as fringe science, calling for serious study and public disclosure. Throughout the hearing, witnesses argued that this isn't just about chasing aliens, it's about national security. These objects could pose threats if they're foreign weapons, or opportunities if they're alien tech. Either way, shouldn't the public know? Schellenberger said, "The government's treating us like children." He then insisted that the American people were ready for the truth. Do you agree? Do you think you could handle the truth? Let me know in the comments. Dulce Subterranean Base. Some of the world's wildest secrets can be found hidden in plain sight in small towns. Dulce, New Mexico seems like any other quiet town in the American Southwest. No traffic lights, a laid-back vibe, and a small population. But according to some, it hides a massive secret. A sprawling underground alien base. Apparently beneath this unassuming town lies a 7-story compound where extraterrestrials, advanced technology, and hybrid experiments supposedly exist. And if that sounds wild, just wait, because things only get crazier from here. The story dates back to the 1970s when Gabe Valdez, a New Mexico State Police trooper, started investigating bizarre cattle mutilations in the area. Unlike typical predator attacks, Valdez found strange items near the carcasses: gas masks, glow sticks, and radar chaff. And what was even weirder was that Valdez claimed to have found a fetus inside one cow that looked like a mix of human, monkey, and frog. No bones in the head, just liquid. So naturally, Valdez concluded that the cows were being used as alien incubators. I mean, what other explanation could there be? Valdez wasn't alone in witnessing strange things. In the late 1990s, Tim Anderson, a Dulce police officer, claimed that he saw a UFO light up the valley before disappearing into the rocks. Anderson also threw Bigfoot into the mix, believing that the creature lives in or near the town. So clearly, Dulce is a magnet for all things paranormal. But the most out-there claims come from Philip Schneider, a former government engineer who claimed to have worked on the Dulce base in 1979. According to Schneider, he witnessed a brutal battle between humans and subterranean aliens while constructing the facility. He said 60 humans died in the conflict and that the alien war continues to this day. Do you believe him? Paul Bennewitz, another key figure in this conspiracy, added fuel to the fire in the 1980s. A physicist by trade, Bennewitz believed he intercepted strange electronic signals near Dulce, too sophisticated for such a small town. He theorized that these signals came from an underground base and were directed toward an object in the sky. Bennewitz became one of the most vocal proponents of the Dulce alien base theory, helping cement the town's reputation as the Roswell of northern New Mexico. So what physical evidence is there to support this idea? Well, that's the thing. There's nothing. Without proof, this is nothing but a conspiracy theory. However, believers argue that the government is covering up the truth. Alien wars? Cows as incubators? It sounds too crazy to be true. But hey, maybe something otherworldly really is lurking beneath this sleepy little town. Who knows? Life on Miranda. Miranda, a little-known moon of Uranus, might be hiding one of the biggest surprises in our solar system, a secret underground ocean that could be harboring alien life. This isn't fiction, folks, this is real science. Miranda is tiny, just 290 miles across, which is about 1/7 the size of Earth's moon. It's mostly made of water ice mixed with rock, but its surface is a wild mix of canyons, ridges, and cliffs, making it look like someone tried to piece together a puzzle that didn't quite fit. For years, scientists thought these bizarre surface features were caused by gravitational forces heating Miranda from the inside. However, new research published in the Planetary Science Journal suggests that there might be more to the story. Using computer models, scientists reverse-engineered Miranda's odd geology, trying to figure out what was happening beneath its icy crust. Their calculations pointed to a vast underground ocean that likely existed between 100 and 500 million years ago. Picture an ocean stretching 60 miles deep, hidden under 20 miles of ice. Basically an aquatic wonderland. This ocean could have been created by tidal forces, gravitational tugs between Miranda, Uranus, and Uranus's other moons. These same forces also heat moons like Jupiter's Europa and Saturn's Enceladus, which are both famous for their subsurface oceans. However, Miranda's moons have since drifted out of sync, and scientists think the ocean has mostly frozen over by now. But mostly isn't the same as completely. Could there still be some liquid water lurking down there? And if so, could it be harboring life? This is where things get really exciting. Subsurface oceans are now one of the best places to search for extraterrestrial life because they are shielded from harsh space environments. Because of this, scientists are itching to confirm their findings. But here's the catch. We only have old data from the Voyager 2 spacecraft, which buzzed by Uranus in 1986. It's like trying to solve a modern mystery with grainy photos from a Polaroid camera. But a future mission to Uranus could finally uncover the truth. So is Miranda just a frozen moon, or is it hiding an alien secret beneath its icy shell? For now, nobody can say for sure. But what an incredible story it would be if life existed on this tiny, unsuspecting moon, orbiting one of the most distant planets in our solar system. Otherworldly technology. Have we already found evidence of extraterrestrial technology right here on Earth? A Harvard astrophysicist believes he has the answer, and it involves a deep-sea expedition and some very unusual metallic spheres. R.V. Loeb, a Harvard astrophysicist with a reputation for bold ideas, took a deep dive into the Pacific Ocean, literally, to uncover what could be evidence of alien technology. His team of scientists boarded a ship named Silver Star and sifted through ocean muck with futuristic magnets to find tiny metallic spherules. But how did they get to this point? Well, it all started with a meteor. On January 8, 2014, a mysterious fireball zipped through the sky above Papua New Guinea and exploded in Earth's atmosphere. Years later, Loeb and his research assistant Amir Siraj stumbled upon NASA data suggesting that this wasn't an ordinary space rock. It moved too fast, faster than 95% of nearby stars, and was unusually tough. This led Loeb and his team to wonder, could this meteor be something artificial, crafted by an alien civilization? Naturally, the idea wasn't warmly embraced by everyone in the scientific community. Despite skepticism, though, Loeb's theory gained credibility in 2022 when US Space Command declared with near certainty that the meteor came from outside our solar system. With this new information and $1.5 million from a crypto mogul, Loeb gathered a team to search the ocean floor for fragments of this interstellar visitor. The expedition wasn't exactly smooth sailing. For 6 days, the sled-like contraption dragged across the seabed, mostly scooping up nothing but volcanic ash. This understandably frustrated the crew until a breakthrough occurred. Jeff Wynn, a geologist on the team, discovered a spherule, a tiny metallic marble that stuck out from its surroundings. Soon, the team collected 360 of these spherules, 84% of which were made of iron. But what makes these marbles so special? According to Loeb, their composition and durability might hint at something not of this world. What if these spherules were droplets from a melted alien spacecraft? It's unlikely, but not impossible. Critics argue that the spherules could easily be terrestrial in origin, perhaps the result of welding or space debris re-entering Earth's atmosphere. Others point out that if these were truly interstellar, they should show signs of oxidation due to our atmosphere. But Loeb believes that the data and the lack of oxidation might point to a material tougher and more advanced than what humans typically create. To strengthen his case, Loeb is now analyzing the spherules in labs across the globe, including Harvard. By studying their age, he hopes to prove that they're far older than anything in our solar system. If successful, this could be humanity's first tangible piece of an alien artifact. What do you think they'll find out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Glowing scorch marks. In the small town of Delphos, Kansas, a quiet evening on November 2nd, 1971, turned into a sci-fi mystery that's still puzzling people to this day. Ron Johnson, a 16-year-old living on his family's farm, claimed to see a glowing mushroom-shaped UFO hovering near the property. So naturally, he sprinted inside to tell his parents, who joined him just in time to see the craft zoom away into the night sky. But things didn't end there. They only got more bizarre. When the family checked the area where the UFO had been, they discovered an 8-foot wide white ring in the muddy field, right below where the craft had been hovering. And this wasn't just any ordinary patch of dirt either. It had a strange crust that glowed faintly. Ron's mom made the mistake of touching it, and her fingers went numb. At this point, the family was probably wondering, are we being pranked? Sheriff Harlan Enlow, who investigated the site, described it as an eye-opening surprise. The white ring looked like a giant powdered donut sitting in the mud. He took statements, photos, and even soil samples, and claimed that the family's story seemed credible. Decades later, scientists revisited those samples, and guess what? The soil still had some wild properties, including hydrophobic or water-repelling chemicals, and incredibly, a faint glow. What else could explain these strange findings other than aliens? Well, apparently several things. NASA geologist Dr. Bob Anderson offered a more simple explanation. He suggested that the ring might have been caused by a natural reaction between groundwater and some kind of unknown organism in the soil. He even had a theory about why Ron's mom's hand went numb. An acidic substance in the ground could have caused a mild burn. However, he also hinted that the soil might have been contaminated by a man-made chemical, though there's no way to prove it now. The family eventually buried the ring to stop curious onlookers from poking around their farm. But the mystery remains unsolved. Was this a UFO encounter leaving behind cosmic breadcrumbs? Or just a science experiment courtesy of Mother Nature? Any thoughts? Let me hear them in the comments. Underwater alien base. Malibu isn't just a popular place for tourists, it's also a popular hub for extraterrestrial activity. Allegedly, that is. That's right, according to some reports off the coast of Malibu, California, there's a mystery buried beneath the waves. It's a strange, oval-shaped structure sitting 2,000 feet below the ocean's surface. But what exactly is it? Nicknamed the Malibu Underwater Alien Base, this anomaly first gained attention thanks to Google Earth images. These pictures show a massive flat-topped formation with what appear to be columns leading into its shadowy depths. At nearly 3 miles wide, it's no small feature, and its bizarre appearance has sparked countless debates. Could it be a natural formation, an underwater UFO hangout, or maybe just a glitch in the system? This underwater enigma caught the eye of Jimmy Church, the host of the radio show Fade to Black. A listener tipped him off about the Google Earth images, and Church wasted no time investigating. The structure's symmetry stunned him. It looked too perfect to be natural. He described it as resembling a domed stadium or even an Olympic arena. Church and his team analyzed the images from every angle, and they were convinced that they were looking at something extraordinary. But was it really the holy grail of UFO research, as Church claimed? Not everyone thinks so. Geologist David Schwartz of the U.S. Geological Survey thinks it's nothing more than a natural feature. To him, the formation, known as Sycamore Knoll, is a natural part of the continental shelf shaped by erosion and seismic activity. He noted that the so-called columns could just be uneven rock formations caused by underwater landslides or earthquakes. Schwartz even joked that there's no underwater flag declaring it an alien base, so he's sticking with the geological explanation. Even John Anthony West, an Egyptologist known for exploring ancient mysteries, wasn't convinced by this anomaly. While he acknowledged the possibility of UFOs, he felt that the formation screamed geology rather than aliens. He said the uneven pillars and rough terrain are more consistent with natural rock formations than with something artificial. And for those dreaming of an underwater gateway to Atlantis, West believes that any entrance into this thing likely doesn't go far, and they'd be disappointed if they were expecting anything else. Former FBI agent Ben Hansen also gave his 2 cents on the matter. He cautioned against jumping to conclusions based on Google Earth images. He pointed out that these images often rely on data patched together from multiple sources, which can result in blurry or misleading visuals. According to him, the pillars might just be shadows or jagged edges, amplified by image processing errors. So, what's the verdict? For now, the so-called Malibu Underwater Alien Base remains a mystery. Is it an extraterrestrial hangout, a natural wonder, or just a trick of the light? Until someone sends a deep-sea camera down there, the answer will stay hidden beneath the waves. If you were an alien tasked with building a secret base on Earth that would never be detected by humans, what location would you choose? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And while you're at it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.